You better not mess with Donald Trump. Apparently, even if you are the Pope launching the first attack against Trump, suggesting he is not a Christian. Here's exactly what he said.
A person who thinks only about building walls, wherever they may be, and not building bridges is not Christian. This is not in the gospel. This man is not Christian if he said things like that.
Trump almost immediately launching a return attack right back at Pope Francis.
If and when the Vatican is attacked by ISIS, which, as everyone knows, is ISIS's ultimate trophy, I can promise you that the Pope would have only wished and prayed that Donald Trump would have been president. Donald Trump is a very nice person, and I am a very nice person. And I'm a very good Christian, because the Pope said something to the effect that maybe Donald Trump isn't Christian, okay? And he's questioning my faith. I was very surprised to see it, but I am a Christian. For a religious leader to question a person's faith is disgraceful. I'm proud to be a Christian, and as president, I will not allow Christianity to be consistently attacked and weakened, unlike what is happening now with our current president.
Former GOP presidential candidate and former pastor, Governor Mike Huckabee, goes on the record. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Greta. Great to be with you tonight.
And let me see, is it correct to say former pastor, or once a pastor, always a pastor, I suppose?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's been 30 years, so I guess, if I still carry the label, that's fine with me. Certainly a practicing believer and somebody who is faithful to my church.
All right. Well, let me ask you about the controversy that is gripping not just the nation, but even the BBC has it as headlines. And that's that Pope Francis suggests that Donald Trump is not Christian because of his harshness of his campaign promises to deport more immigrants illegally here, and the issue about building a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border. So, what do you think about that?
Well, it's just absolutely stunning. I don't ever remember in my lifetime that a pope has ever injected himself into the specifics of an American presidential election, and specifically calling out of the candidate. In this case, what makes it so remarkable, number one, is that all of the GOP candidates have called for a secure border, every last one of them. And so why did the Pope just single out Donald Trump? Secondly, 3 of the candidates are Catholic. And I think it's going to be interesting to find out, will they say, I disagree with my Pope on this one? But there's another issue, Greta. I mean, I've been to the Vatican. There's a big wall that surrounds the Vatican. I'm wondering, when the Pope gets back home, is he going to take that down and say, we don't build walls anymore? Look, Nehemiah built a wall. Jerusalem had a wall around it in the time of the kings, and it was ordered by God to be built as a way of protection. I don't know what the Pope thinks a country should do if it doesn't protect its borders and protect its people. That's what a country does. And a country without a border is not even a country anymore.
How do you think it'll affect, if it will impact at all, the evangelical vote in South Carolina?
Well, you know, all I know is that every time there's a controversy surrounding Donald Trump, his numbers go up. And to be singled out by the Pope gives him a level of attention that I don't ever recall a primary GOP candidate having. And I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if his numbers don't go up, because what it does, it points out what Donald Trump has said about immigration, that he's going to take the strongest stand. And I guess the Pope must decide and must agree that he's taking the strongest stand, because he singled him out of all the candidates, even though every last one of them have said that they were going to do the same thing Donald Trump was going to do. The only difference is Donald Trump said he'll make Mexico pay for it. But all the candidates have said that they would secure the border.
What do the Catholic candidates do in the GOP? Do they just ignore this one and look the other way, or do they take it head on and either take the Trump side or the Pope side? What do they do?
Well, that's the question. And I think they're going to be in a real pickle, if you will, if they try to take the Pope's side and said, no, we shouldn't be building that wall, because then they're going to lose a significant support within the Republican base that absolutely believes that one of the few things that a country has a responsibility to do is to protect its citizens, secure its borders. And if a country doesn't do that, and we haven't been doing it, and it's one of the reasons that there's such a seething rage among the voters this year, is they feel like that we have allowed cheap labor to come in, take American jobs. Nobody seems to notice at least not the financiers on Wall Street, that there are a lot of working class Americans who have been gut punched by an open immigration policy, and there are a lot of families who have been the victims of violence. I mean, Kate Steinle is a great example of someone who ought to be alive today, but she isn't, because we didn't do a good job of taking care of our own borders. And Americans are sick of it. They just say, look, if the government isn't going to do its most fundamental job, then let's get rid of this government and get us a new one. And that's why we're seeing this very disruptive election cycle this time.
Governor, nice to see you. And the headline I always say for these days are never dull. Anyway, nice to see you, sir.
Thank you, Greta. Have a great weekend.